shit. Now I'm gonna take you on a journey. I wanna take you into my mind, and I'm gonna tell you a story of a kid named Danny. This is the story of a kid named Danny, a cute little boy with a life he had planning, a happy little dude that was banging to rapping. And now you're gonna walk in the shoes to what happened. 13 years old, he snuck out the house and went to the high street trying to buy weed. But he bumped into a chick that said, "Fuck weed, come and have a drink, I got ID." She was 18, should've known better. Year 2000, middle of December, the 15th, a night that would haunt her forever. They went to the shop and she bought him some Stella. They drunk it together. They met Tony, Lorraine and Gemma, the last people little Dan will ever truly remember. They'll never really understand what they messed up. This kid had options, but after tonight that's gonna be a problem. This kid could have been anything he wanted to be, but they all stopped him. Could have been a football star with 5 nice cars or a champion of boxing. Could have been the best MC on the planet with a track list you play often. Could have been a doctor. Could have got movie roles and got nominated for Oscars. Anyway, I'll stop with the what could haves and get back to the monsters. Lorraine and Gemma had just got married. They seemed real nice and looked really happy. They were having a party and needed a victim. But I wish they didn't invite Danny. But he did, and he went. He didn't have a clue it was gonna end so badly. If he did, he would have run like an athlete, all the way right back home to his family. But he didn't, and now it's all bad dreams, bad dreams, bad dreams. They got to the house and poured him a drink. He was already drunk and they poured him another. They gave him some pills that made him feel drowsy and sick, so he couldn't do a runner. They looked at each other and walked to the cupboard, put a knife in each hand and talked to each other, and said that in order to prove their love for each other, they had to sacrifice another. And with no regards for his mother, his baby sister or his little brother, little Dan was the another that was going to suffer. Stab, stab, slice! One to the neck, one to the back, one to the chest. Stab, stab, stab! Again in the back. Now his left lung was fully collapsed. Stab, stab, slice! Halfway there, way too much blood, so they took him outside, kicked him down the stairs, dragged him across to a bench, continued to stab until they thought he was dead. And just to make sure he couldn't go anywhere, they stabbed his hand to the bench after a kick to the head. Then they left, then they came back. Little Dan was still breathing, so they gave another few stabs to help the right lung collapse. As his intestines filled his little hands and the blood soaked the land around little Dan. Breaths getting shorter, heart rate getting slower. Not much blood to go now for the little guy. He's bleeding out for sure. He knows he's gonna die on this floor, but he keeps his eyes open for as long as he can, painting pictures in the stars with an imaginary hand. Swallowed his pride and it dripped out his throat, getting ready to die as his little body slowly froze. Curled up as tight as he could in his blood-soaked holy clothes. Said goodbye to the world that he knows, and said goodbye to the world that he don't. Now the frost that froze his wounds allowed the blood to flow slower. Heart rate has reduced just enough to take over. Go on, son, you can do it. Go on, go on. Wake up, please. Wake the fuck up. And boom! With a final shot of adrenaline, he turned his back on heaven. He opened his eyes and there was a dog inside. He reached up to the knife and pulled it out his tiny hand and put it to his side. He scraped it on the ground, which made the dog get hype and start barking, which made the guy he walked with start asking, "What are you barking at, you silly bastard?" But the dog came running and the angry owner followed him over, with fear kicking in with each step, cause he can smell the blood as he gets closer. He finally finds little Dan curled up with his eyes open. And the story has it that the little man smiled and worded to the big man, "Don't be scared, just get help quick, fam." And with that, he slipped back into the world where nobody will ever truly know, cause we never got that kid back. This lad was born again jokes. R.I.P. little man.